Hello and welcome back. If you've ever found yourself tossing and turning, staring at the ceiling, or waking up way too early without feeling rested, this video is for you. Today, we're diving into something so many of my patients experience: insomnia. But don't worry, understanding the root causes behind your sleepless nights can actually be the first step towards finding solutions. So let's talk about how you can finally reclaim your rest. First off, what exactly is insomnia? Well, insomnia can actually show up in a few different ways: difficulties falling asleep, waking up frequently throughout the night, or waking up too early and not being able to drift back to sleep. Not getting enough rest can really affect your mood, your energy levels, and even your overall health. And for women, insomnia can be especially tricky because of a variety of hormonal changes throughout different stages of life. So let's unpack this a little. Hormones play a major role in regulating our sleep cycles. In fact, one of the most common triggers for insomnia in women is hormonal fluctuations. So let's break it down. During the menstrual cycle, many women notice that they struggle with sleep during certain phases of their cycle. This is due to the natural rise and fall of estrogen and progesterone levels. In pregnancy, if you've ever been pregnant, you've probably experienced disrupted sleep at some point due to both hormonal changes, physical discomfort, heartburn, or needing to use the bathroom frequently. In perimenopause and menopause, this stage of life often brings hot flashes, night sweats, increased anxiety, which are huge contributors to insomnia. These hormonal changes can really make it tough to get a solid night's rest. And if you're dealing with sleep issues during any of these phases, know that you're not alone and understand how these hormonal shifts influence your sleep is actually just an empowering first step. Now, beyond hormones, there are psychological factors at play too. Stress, anxiety, and racing thoughts can keep you wide awake when you actually should be sound asleep. And the tricky part is the more you stress about not sleeping, the harder it can be to actually fall asleep. This creates a vicious cycle where the fear of sleeplessness often fuels more insomnia. So, again, if we can recognize these patterns, this is actually really crucial to breaking that cycle. Now, let's talk about some everyday habits that might be sneaking into your routine that can contribute to your sleepless nights. The first one is caffeine intake. So, having too much coffee or tea too late in the day can make it hard to wind down. And yes, this includes even if you drink that second coffee and you don't feel jittery, you don't feel anxious or on edge, we can actually take a longer time to metabolize that caffeine. And so, as we drink it later in the day, that can actually lead to a reduction in your ability to get into a restful state for sleep. Number two is a lack of physical activity. Without regular exercise, your body may actually not feel tired enough to sleep. And this can be counterintuitive because there's so many factors at play. So let's say we're super stressed and our cortisol is dysfunctional and now we are just like wired but tired and we like, I'm exhausted, but I can't get to sleep. Or let's just say you have kids that you're running around after and you are exhausted, or you have a job that's super demanding and you are exhausted, but you've had a sedentary day. The reality is your body needs to move. The third thing is screens before bedtime. The blue light from your phone or computer can actually disrupt your body's natural production of melatonin, which is going to help regulate your sleep wake cycle. And if this is disrupted, this can impact your ability to get a good night's sleep. Another one is alcohol. I know a lot of us will take a drink to relax in the evening, but it can actually be super counterintuitive because alcohol reduces our quality of sleep. So we might actually be passing out, but we're not getting into that deep state of sleep. We're not getting that REM that's going to help restore our body and heal our cells. If these habits sound familiar, this might be the first step to tackling your sleep. The good news is that there's plenty of other ways to get your sleep back on track if these habits are something that you're already changing and already doing positive things for. The first one is cognitive behavioral therapy. We know it as a highly effective long-term solution that helps change those negative thought patterns around sleep. Number two, lifestyle modifications. So simple adjustments like setting a consistent wake up time, winding down with a calming bedtime routine, and creating a really sleep friendly environment, meaning no screens, can go a really long way. Nutritional support and supplement support is where naturopathic medicine really excels. And we look at our diet, we know that eating magnesium rich foods like almond or spinach can actually promote relaxation. There are supplements that can be considered, But the biggest and the most important thing that I look at with my patients is how do we understand what the root cause of your sleep issues are? And the first thing I like to do is proper testing. So if we're running blood work, some of the reasons why your sleep is impacted can be things like an iron deficiency, can be things like a thyroid dysfunction. And so if you're in those circumstances and you have a thyroid issue, then no supplement in the world is going to change that sleep pattern. The other thing I like to understand with my patients is what is the actual sleep problem? Some of my patients fall asleep perfectly fine, but wake up at 2 in the morning. In that case, we actually might be looking more towards cortisol rather than looking at, iron, let's just say. Sometimes patients are having a hard time sleeping because they have restless leg or they have pain or they have hot flashes. And if you're having trouble sleeping because there's a restless leg involved or there's hot flashes or there's night sweats, then the reality is we need to fix that root cause in order to fix your sleep issues. And so when we look at the evidence, magnesium can be really helpful for restless leg. If you're in perimenopause or menopause and you're having night sweats or hot flashes, estrogen is actually the first line therapy for hot flashes and night sweats at that stage of life. And so changing that can actually improve your sleep altogether because we've now actually treated the root cause. Other things I like to do is evaluate for things like depression and anxiety because that can impact your ability to sleep. You might be not sleeping at all. You might be sleeping too much. You might be sleeping, but you're really tired when you wake up. And so I like to do a lot of objective measures to really understand what that looks like. We also know that looking at the whole picture and understanding that it's not just about the sleep. Is it because your wheels are turning in the evening and you just can't shut off that to-do list? Then we might actually recommend something closer to cognitive behavioral therapy, or we might consider supplements like L-theanine to help turn off the wheels. And so really understanding what that sleep looks like can really help us build a plan for that makes sense for your needs. And we need to rule out other things that might be going on, underlying causes that are contributing to your inability to sleep. Finally, if hormonal fluctuations related to PMS or menopause are causing your sleep struggles, we need to look a little bit deeper. We need to understand what hormone therapy, if any, would be helpful. So, no matter where you're at in life, if you've been battling sleepless nights, there are solutions that can help. Understanding the complex relationship between hormones, stress, and lifestyle habits is really the key to getting back on track. If you want to dive deeper or explore more personalized treatment options, you can reach out by booking your free call with me, and I'm so excited to chat. And if you like this video, subscribe for more content on women's health and hit the notification bell so you don't miss an update. Thanks for watching, and here's to reclaiming those restless nights.